Hello everybody and welcome to Chloethedev Unfiltered, Aimery's Axie farmer. That's me, by the way. Aimery is my son, he is 4. These little cute little Pokemon looking, Neopet looking things are Axies. And I am Aimery's Axie farmer. So I take these little Axies that go out into the game of Axie Infinity and I earn these tokens called SLP. SLP tokens, or small love potion tokens, have some sort of economic value. So to quickly explain how that works, I do have the Uniswap pair open for it. So for example, I'm going to refresh it so it's showing the correct data. If I go to the SLP wrapped Ether pair, so the price of SLPs are on 4 cents. The price of ETH is around $600 almost, which is insane. And so the total liquidity in the pool is around $200,000, and the volume is around $80,000. And so what's really cool here is you can see all the swaps that have been made and all the different price changes and everything like that. So as we go through that, you can see that as we earn some SLP in this game, you could sell that SLP and you could earn some Ethereum for that sale. And so this is kind of the price chart and all that. So the link to this information is in this video description. If you want to learn more about Small Love Potion or SLP, feel free to do that. But that is what I play the game, I gain SLP, I have these Axies that are also tokens that can be bought and sold and traded. So as I go through the game, there's this thing called energy. I'm going to move my head up here so it's a bit easier to see everything going on. So, but above my face, you can see my energy. I have 17 out of 20. And you get 5 more energy every, I think it's every like 6 hours or something like that. So you get 20 energy every 24 hours. So pretty much every 24 hours with your SLP gain, if you were to max it out and not worry about gaining any experience, you could play 20 rounds in the arena. Okay. And then let's say you got 7 or 8 experience per, right? So if you won every single round with 160 SLP, let's say you won half the rounds, seems pretty reasonable. It's 80 SLP. Then the max SLP you can get from adventure is 100. So therefore, you can get 100 SLP from adventure. After you've used all your energy, you get 80 SLP from arena PvP. So now you're at 180 SLP for the day. And then you would get the quest bonus. So for the quest, so you check in, right? Complete all the daily quests, 1 out of 3. Checking in is for free. Then you'd have to do 10 levels and complete them to get the energy. Now, usually I've been doing it the other way around. I've been getting less SLP per day, and I've been focusing more on making sure my Axies are at a higher level. I want to advance through the rounds, and so I'm trying to also make sure that I'm leveling up my Axies as well. But if your Axies were already maxed level, that wouldn't be as efficient, and it would be more efficient to get your 180 SLP, plus you'd get the 50 from this quest, right? And so that would put you at 230 SLP, which would be around your reasonable max, or reasonable medium, I should say. Obviously, if you won all your PvP matches, you'd be getting more. And if you lost a few more of those matches, you'd be getting less. So for example, what I'll do today, actually, is let's just start with... let's just start with this team in PvP and see how we do. This team has lower HP but higher speed with my middle Axie, and a couple of blackmail instead of Cupid's arrow, risky feather instead of twin tail. So they're a little bit different, the 2 Axies that I have, the 2 teams that I have. But this is going to be a rough one, eh? And Dark Swoop. So one of those and one of those. I don't think they're going to attack my front Axie in the first turn. So I'm kind of getting rid of Egg Bomb, using Risky Feather to get as much damage as possible against their front Axie, which seems to have pretty much max health. Okay, so they probably use Luna Absorb, free energy, and it's gonna free for them to use. Doesn't use any energy, and it's gonna help them gain some energy as well for the next round. Now they have more cards, they can do more damage. But we're just going to attempt to stay alive. Okay? That's our goal. Oh, snap. Wasn't expecting that one. So I'm going to assume they're going to come after this. Right? If I was here and you know your front Axie is going to die, you go for some Dark Swoop. So let's assume the back Axie is pretty much good as dead. If they kill that back Axie, this front Axie will die. And so let's just do that. Oh wow, not what I expected. That's annoying. Let's go with this and see what we got. Because now again, so that now we got the Dark Swoop. Fine. I don't think it matters too much when it happened, aside from the fact that I wasted 2 energy last time. Because the wasted energy there I get back, and then, yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Still alive. Extra energy here as well. A little bit of damage, so that when although if Dark Swoop comes again, it would be highly frustrating. But that's alright, because we're going to use all our energy here and simply attempt to survive. We've got quite a large shield. Perfect. So that won't be enough to kill us. The beast should basically die here. Might be in last stand. Okay. And this is why I got Peace Treaty on this Axie in the front. Relatively good damage. Oh, it'll die regardless. Relatively good damage output. Perfect. And now all I have to do is split up. Oh, that's not what you want to see. I'm just gonna use the one attack. I'll need the energy for next time if they go for Dark Swoop. So for example, if they use Dark Swoop, they'll kill my back Axie. Okay, perfect. So front Axie is dead, but back, we'll attack from the back and GG, good game. So there's our first win. Moving up the ranks, 8 SLP. So we said SLP's at 4 cents. So that'd be like what, 32 cents that I've earned, arguably for Aimery, right? Which is pretty cool. So yeah, so you can see how you kind of just hit the button, play the game. If you win, you get a certain amount of SLP. It's 7 or 8 for me. In the 1200s, I get 7. In the actually, let's save these bad boys. Energy Steal, Disguise, no Energy Steal here, and Dark Swoop, Egg Bomb, Blackmail. Okay. No damage here. You know what? Fine. Actually, I think I die. That sucks. That sucks really bad. That's alright, though. Perfect. So it kind of stunk that I died there, but this should be a really good outcome for me, I would hope. But we'll see. Oh no, they're just gonna survive and probably do some annoying. Oh no, no heals. Interesting. Oh, but energy gain, fair enough. So now they've got quite a bit more energy than me and quite a bit more cards than me. I'm not even sure if it makes sense to use. I think I just lose this one, but... Oh, well, that was again. And that's why it's hard as well, because having that extra speed and having like 2 birds, because speed's at 50... yeah, that was never going to work with the amount of energy gain they have, but... You know? Yeah, was not going to work. One hit, disable the attacker's ranged cards. Okay, so that ability makes it that the next round I can't use ranged cards. And they stole my energy. Again. Steal energy will comply with their panic card. So here, I can't use any... Yeah, can I give up yet? Okay, no. Nope. Gotta keep playing. There's no point of sticking around and wasting my time, right? So there you go. You can see how you don't always win. That's quite clear. I lose quite often, and so yeah, if you win, you get SLP. If you lose, you don't. And you can only get SLP if you have energy. And yeah, aside from that, it's a relatively self-explanatory game. Um, Go through, click the cards you want to use, you use them. You try to live before outlast the opponent, and the winner gets SLP. The game is not that confusing. There's lots of intricacies to it, I suppose, but that's just, you play the game, you learn the game, and you get better at it. So I know a lot of times people are like, oh, I tried to beat level this or level that, and it was too hard. Doesn't really make much sense in my opinion, because no such thing is too hard in this game. You level up your Axies, and things get easier in PvE. And then for PvP, it's just, traits. So if your Axies are bad, they're bad. Like, your Axies can be cute, and that's awesome. But I don't know. I feel like for the most part, for most people, for most teams, it's just traits. Like if you, like they don't even try and hide it anymore, which is good. I don't think it's good to try and hide the fact that the game is basically pay to win. And so obviously this is a pay to win, arguably, game it's upfront about that, right? Because you have to play to even pay. Sorry, you have to pay to even play, right? So these Axies are all NFTs on Ethereum, and so they're all tokens. That's all that matters. Is that they're all owned by somebody. So I own the 3 on the left side. Someone else owns the 3 on the right side. And yeah, so in order to play this game, you need to have 3 of these Axies in your account. So personally, I've got more than 3 Axies in my account. After I finish this level, I can show the account, I suppose, and show the Axies that are in it. Actually, let me check. I just moved some Axies to a different account, but gas prices have been so high that the transaction might have not gone through yet. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Jeez. Well, because the oh my gosh, the transaction confirmed. Never mind. Nice. I just survived. That's fun. Kind of a waste of surviving, but usually I do it. Let me do it one more time. Anyways. Usually you wouldn't want to do it twice, right? Because the chance of them critting on their time or whatever is probably quite high with a beast. But the idea would be to get, disguise so that I can use. Yeah, they might kill me next time, but if I could stay alive like this and use disguise and carrot hammer, I have a higher chance of success moving forward in the round. So, oh, and today no coconut water or anything. Got a smoothie though. See, as I said, higher chance to crit with the beast. There we go. So now we get the free attack, and that, I'm not even sure it's worth using. But anyways, we're going to use it because here we go. There you go. Get the energy gain. Do a little bit of damage, right? Oh, we actually killed it. That's cool. I don't know how I crit twice on this. Aw, they stole the energy that I gained. That is so rude. Okay, well now we're faster in all respects. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal, I would assume. Although energy destroy, energy steal, and gain energy. It's actually a pretty interesting last card to have. Pretty good damage dealing ability with Air Force 1. And, energy steal, energy gain. And energy gain on the Aqua Shop with a huge shield. I like it. Luckily, I think I'll win still because of, crits on the front character and front Axie. Their front Axie had energy steal too, so. Yeah, so reduce their damage just in case they use something really weak and I could survive it, right? You never know when I might survive this. 55. So, for example, wait, where is it? If this Axie had Peace Treaty, and I could have used that, my front Axie might have survived, because it did 55 damage from 80, and so with 2 attack debuffs, and so with another attack debuff, I think it would have been around like 30 damage. I would have just survived one more time, which again, is not needed. but you know, keeps things fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna save any energy. That seems a bit silly, but oh, that crit. That shield and that they just have endless energy. Like, what's going on here? Endless energy going on. Endless energy. Yeah? You're so rude. This person is so rude. Anyways. I'm going to use my back Axie because my back Axie is dead at this point regardless. Right? Right? Back Axie's dead. Oh, wait. I thought I used Egg Bomb. Did I not use Egg Bomb? Sorry, I used the wrong attack. So the first tick of Blood Moon Curse does 50 damage. And so my hope there was to use my back Axie. My hope was to use my back Axie, use Egg Bomb, so that they would attack my back Axie. I would get one more tick. My back Axie would die regardless, but my middle Axie would be alive by like 17 HP. And then I would attack first and hopefully get crit. But either way, that back Axie I just faced was very, very, like, to have 3 cards over and over again, all that energy gained from early on in the round, or energy saving. And I think it's cool to see also, like, how energy saving can be helpful as well. Okay. So, I just paid $4 just to assert. I thought that was the transfer. I was using OpenSea to transfer funds. Oh no, it worked. The tokens were transferred with a, okay, perfect. Cause I was setting up an account for okay, what's here? Okay, target furthest enemy. Yeah. Okay. And you're gonna okay. Okay, so we know they're probably coming after the furthest enemy at some point. Ouch. I guess we'll get some damage done regardless. So I'm gonna. So the first, what's it called? Scholarship, Axie Infinity Scholarship for the Marma J Foundation, is going to be. We're testing it out by sending it to my brother. I would like to set up multiple accounts. So right now I have one extra account on my phone that I test out. I pretty much set my 3 worst Axies to my phone, and I decided to try, and I decided to try my best and like learn more about the game from that team. Recently, I've been feeling as though it might not be worth it to. Oops. Wait. It might. Let's get as much shield as possible. It might not be worth it to play on my phone at all. I really enjoy just playing once a day. I really enjoy just playing on my on the computer and kind of just like having that time set aside for Aimery to play. Oh, so lucky on that crit, eh? So lucky on that crit. But there's another win. I think second win of the day, another 8 FLP. So I like sorry, geez. I like staying in the 1300s, obviously, because I get that one more SLP per win. But as well, you got to realize that it's harder to win. So that is something to think about as well. So anyways, with the scholarships, the point is, all I have to do is send my brother a QR code. So I did text him a QR code already. And then, pretty much, my brother has the code in his photos, scans the code from his pictures, or has the picture and uses a different phone to scan it. Whatever works best, I think we're going to figure that out. Apparently, those QR codes don't work that well. We're going to figure that out. So I'm testing with my brother first, so I can kind of get all these quirks worked out with someone that I can trust and we work back with easily, before I try and like hand it to someone in Antigua who had never heard of cryptocurrency before. But as much as my brother is related to me, He has not really gotten that involved in cryptocurrency trading or holding or anything like that, and so I'm definitely excited to get him involved. So what the way it's gonna work is let's do. So hopefully this plant dies at the front. It's always the worst. Ah, the worst. The worst when you have the debuff and something just survives like that. Oh, okay, let's see. Crit, skip the closest target. So they're trying to maybe skip the closest target and go for this target. I do have relatively high. Okay, let me 1 second. Hello. See, the scam callers always call me every morning. So assume that was coming, right? We assumed that, they were going to go for the skip the closest target. Now, again, they can skip the closest target, but again, I'm just going to use that. Oh, not enough, not enough. And that heal, too. So it seems like, although, how much energy would that cost? Let's see. Okay, so, I don't know. Let's see. What we got next? The shield and the heals are going to be painful for a while. But they have no energy steal. That hurt. I should have shielded probably. Can't always get what you want. But the goal here is to have enough energy finally to just, at least kill one of them, because they're in. Yeah, see, they use all the energy they have. Hopefully, now that it's been wasted energy, because, geez, they just have so much health, right? Now, just gonna use as much shield as I can. This round is lasting for. Jeez, how? Oh, Cock-a-doodle-doo is gonna give them the free energy game. That's why. Yeah, Cock-a-doodle-doo. Probably twice, I would assume. And then single combat. Oh, interesting. Because you had two other cards, Cock-a-doodle-doo. Seemed like you'd want to save that for single combat, but whatever. Again, gonna go for the highest amount of shield we can have, because I can't do much else at all. Right, we're gonna assume, okay, single combat, yep, we're dead. Like, that's it. But how'd they have 4 energy? Oh, that's right, didn't have to do anything, right? A couple times. Anyways. It's crazy. Gas is at 100 now, but I sent my transaction for 19. It took like a day to go through, but hey. So yeah, I pretty much just do this repeatedly until I get 5 wins. Sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it takes like half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. It's interesting because the higher in the ranks you go, the harder it is to win, and then you lose like 4 in a row and you drop down to like the low 1200s, and then you end up winning like 3 in a row, and it's like, okay. It seems as though, having a, what's it called? Let's just use them, because why not, right? It seems like, can't remember what I was saying anymore, but it doesn't really matter, probably. Oh yeah, it just seems like a lot of time. Man, I understand that no matter what, you're gonna have to face off against, people who are like just better than you, and like there's not really a way to reason against that, right? Like, Let's see how that goes. Um, like you have to lose some rounds, right? It's just gonna have to happen that way. And if I die, I might just die here. Wow, wow. No, okay, okay. That's gonna be really close, really close. Jeez, how is that even like? Oh gosh, I need more energy on that. I need more health on that Axie because that was uncool, uncool and uncalled for, uncool and uncalled for. And this is why I enjoy having like, sorry, this is where Coolberry would have been better anyways, simply because Coolberry had the twin tail and the speed of like 49 or something would have still been fast enough to be faster than most beasts, right? And it's still like slower than a pure bird anyways. And so this Axie that I have now fits in the exact same speed. You know, it doesn't really matter if beasts are usually quite slow and then birds are usually quite max speed. So as you can see here, it doesn't really matter too much my speed at this point because I'm dead regardless. But again, now we're dropping to like the low 1300s. We're using our energy up, right? And the reason I don't like doing things, like the reason this was the best way to do it though, is because you could still gain energy in PVE. Like, anyways, you can still gain energy in PVE when you don't have any. Thanks, that was great. That's annoying. Well, that's hilarious. Yeah, we all know the front plan's dead. We don't care about that, right? Useless. What we care about is ensuring that, not that I have much more melee attacks, right? But if you're, yeah, I mean, whatever. Still, you're gonna heal yourself and steal energy and be annoying. So, um, use one of your carrot hammers. Thank you, thank you. Now it's gonna be annoying because they're gonna attack first. Um, so I'm not sure it even makes much of a difference. But hopefully, oh wow, they let me attack. That's nice of them. That is very, very nice of them. I do appreciate that, Joey. Don't know what I'd do without you, buddy. Don't know what I'd do without you. So I'm assuming one of my Axies is dead. Most definitely that front Axie there. And what's annoying about it is that, right? So front. Oh wow, I actually might just survive. That's crazy. That's just wonderfully crazy. Um, so I could have attacked and killed him right now, but benefit of this being, since there is no dark swoop, I don't have to stress about which Axie is getting attacked. We know it's the front Axie getting attacked, which is great, and then we know that we're going to be able to kill them. So that's at least some knowing in the game. It's also nice. So because we were moving up from the lower ranks, maybe we were too close to 1300s. We only got 7 SMP that round. So in the quest, you can see I've been live for about 30 minutes, and I have 3 wins. So it's taken me about 10 minutes to get a win. So if let's say you had 20 energy, and you're doing 10 minutes per win, but I'm definitely using energy a lot quicker than that, right? So, oh gosh, any energy steal? Not that I can see, and you know what? It might make more sense just to wait a second and try and, okay, well, no. Oh, let's see. That's all right. Cock-a-doodle-doo with that. Shoot 130, 150. Oh, I am maybe dead. Perfect. Might as well use these regardless. Might as well use that regardless. to be funny, we could always do that, right? And then do, oops. We could do like that, and then get as much shield as possible. And then use that. Okay, okay, calm your tits. Sorry. Oh gosh. But yeah. So it's gonna take you quite a while to get like the energy gain that is. Wait, what? Did I use blackmail again? Oh, I keep doing that by accident. I think I did it again just now. Gosh. I meant to use Egg Bomb so they'll attack my back Axie with that one attack. I was not paying. This was saying I don't pay attention half the time when I play this game. I just talk and ramble. But, which makes you lose a lot of matches that I could probably easily win. But it keeps me playing every day. So in my opinion, it's like, what's the point of playing if you're not enjoying what you're playing? And so I definitely enjoy playing. It's just that it's more enjoyable to play, in my opinion, when I'm able to do so at the same time as, you know. Let's actually do that. Because I feel like my front Axie is dead. But maybe, just maybe. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Because this Axie is slow anyways, right? Slower than what they've got here. They don't have any mobility, so they can't choose to attack my back Axie. Even though my back Axie has, you know, -2 damage, kind of sucks. But we're gonna hope they use. That was actually great. Use all your cards, please, please, please. So now I know they're not gonna use plus attack for next round, but they probably won't need it. They know they won't need next round. Right? Perfect. That's gonna be painful next round, like the Sunder armor. Yeah, but we're gonna do our best, right? We only have 4 cards. That's all we can really do. 200 shield is probably more than enough to survive whatever I can do. But you never know. That might be enough to put in last stand or kill it. And then we might tie here, it looks like. Yeah, we're gonna tie. Tying is all right too. The annoying part about tying though is doesn't work. You get some SLP, which is, I guess, fine. But it doesn't do anything for your quest. And I know, like, I get the quest as the quest, and like I totally understand that. But like, it's one of those things where it's like you play for a long time, and it's like, okay, thank you for the economic incentive of, you know, like, thank you so much for the economic incentive of the SLP. But, you know, at the same time, it'd be really cool if there was like you know, some quest. I play the game majority of the time for the quest, and so it'd be really cool, you know, if I was able to. Oh, they really did fix that, eh? When you use the energy shield, energy destroy comes on. When they use energy destroy, and you've used Carrot Hammer, you gain energy and they steal it right after. Obviously, that's the way it should work. It makes the card Vegetal Bite much better, and all energy steal cards much better. Am I dead here? Nope, I should be all right. I kind of just want to lower I mean, we don't have much damage coming from here anyways. Seems like this is just a support Axie regardless, but still. And they can heal, but they're going to heal last. So, going to use the Egg Bomb. Actually, going to use this first, then Egg Bomb, and that should allow me to use. Oh, well. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Luckily, I crit, I suppose. And I used the Insectivore for the extra shield, right? And I knew they weren't going to die there. Well, anything could have happened, right? But here we are just going to go for that because we know we're going to attack before the green this Axie here. And the one attack shouldn't kill us. Shouldn't being the key word there. Now, I'm sure I'll die now, right? That's fine. Right, that's okay. That's what, they have quite a bit of energy gain as well, so who knows what we get here. But we're going to try at this point. Dang, you know what? Doing nothing. Because I would have survived, but it's, not sure it would have been worth it. This Axie wouldn't have died, and then this round the Axie would have healed again. Where at least now, I can just use as much, actually, I don't even want to use Risky Feather. I just want to use as much shield as possible and just survive, right? If I can kill this green Axie here and survive, next round I'll have Risky Feather, no energy, no damage debuffs, or hopefully no debuffs at all. I might have debuffs from Peace Treaty here, right? But the idea would be to kill this front Axie. Perfect. We had enough. If they go into last stand or whatever, perfect. It's dead. Didn't need both of those attacks apparently. And thank you for putting me. Yep. So just survived. Now I only have 3 cards to use. So apparently I could have used 3 cards last. I know I would have died from the NFC. So that shield kept me alive barely. I needed to use all 3 cards. Here it's about just doing as much damage as possible. We're going to use that to get rid of the Risky Feather debuff. That was going to apply another debuff. I always forget whether it's worse to just attack or whether it's worth getting Risky Feathered. Let's go with that. See what happens. The best we can do, right? Lower damage, about 90 something, I think. Yep. Oh my gosh. Maybe Risky Feather twice would be better. I gotta test out how much damage Risky Feather does when I'm already debuffed. I haven't checked. Anyway, so for example, we had 17 energy when we started this. Now we have 7 energy left, and we only have 3 wins. So I'm definitely winning less than half the time, which is what it is. But that's, like, in my opinion, also why a lot of people like lose on purpose, which makes the game less fun as well. Because if you lose on purpose, you go down through the rankings, and it's easier to win, and you can win quicker. And that's why they make it, I'm assuming, you can't surrender right away. Because if you surrendered right away, then you just lose, and it would like do the same thing. I just think the whole system needs to be fixed. Like, for example, why can't I just choose what rank I go into? Like, it doesn't seem to make sense to me that I have to be forced into some rank. Personally, I think it would make a lot more sense just to make it to where, okay, you think you're good enough for the 1200s, go to the 1200s. They're so, in my opinion, they're quite like secretive about how much SLP you get for ranks, and it seems that way to me. In my opinion, it seems like it'd be very simple to be like, okay, in the 1100s, you get 6 SLP. In the 1200s, you get 7 SLP. In the 30s, you get, and then people could just choose, which one they go to. Like, oh, okay, I would like to go to the 1100s and see how I do. And okay, I'm getting 5 wins pretty easily. I'm getting 4 SLP. Let me move up to the other rankings for today. Because, I mean, who cares? If someone's really, really, can't afford good cards and they're having a tough time at the game, it seems like all you're really going to do by forcing them to move up the ranks is just make them want to hate the game. Like, personally, I dislike PvP profusely because I feel like no matter what I do, I have to waste a large amount of time. And that's because that is a super, super big waste if I do that. Let's do they have any mobility here? Target a bird. Yeah, so let's do that. And yeah, so I think just like it's unuseful in my opinion to do things that way. I just feel as though that I'm excited for the revamped system. I'm sure they're gonna figure out great ways of dealing with all of this. But for now, I do what I do, right? I just go and I play. Oh man, that's why I didn't even do anything. Cause I was like, ugh, right? So they're gonna keep having the speed debuff as they attack me. So they're gonna attack first, which is A-okay. Oh shoot, no, I have to attack now then. Right? So they're going to attack first and get another speed buff. But next round they should only have +1 speed, I think. I cannot remember for the life of me how long these buffs last. Okay, so now they only have 1 speed buff, which still sadly is enough to... But they shouldn't have a bunch of energy. I can't remember anymore who I was facing. Okay, so only 2 energy. Oh, that was so painful. Any crit would have killed me there. Increase, deal. Okay, so deal extra damage because they had low HP. I like that. We still won, luckily. But yeah, so 8 SLP. But as you can see, so I have 7 energy left. So I've used 10, it seems. It's been 40 minutes. And I have 4 wins. So it's really averaging 10 minutes per win for me. And as you can see, I'm spending quite a bit of energy to do it. But this should be another relatively, I wouldn't call it easy, let's say, but hopefully this will be a fun one. Ooh, not a great first hand, but we're going to try and get some damage done against the aquatic class Axie in the front. The issue with using aquatic class Axies for the front is in general, they're just not going to have as much HP as the plants. Like, for example, 444 is pretty close. But my Axie is pretty low for a plant. Like, I would want this. I want to upgrade this Axie and get it a lot closer to 500. I would assume the reason this Axie's HP is so low is because it does have the aquatic skills of shipwreck and plus attack, which makes it more do a little more damage. I do not need that whatsoever. I need to survive. I need to have more plant skills so that I can gain more energy. I want Peace Treaty here. I don't want Vegetal Blight. So I think I want to get instead of Shipwreck, I want to have something to, ooh, that would be nice. Sticky Goo would be awesome as well. Let's see, though, what we're actually going to do. I'm honestly just going to use the 1 Carrot Hammer because I'm 90, oh, okay. I was going to say I'm pretty sure I was going to die there, but apparently I didn't. And I thought it would be a waste of energy, but apparently it's not a waste of energy, and it's going to work out for me. So thank you for that. They don't seem to have any energy steal, and I'm a bit worried about, like, just, I mean, yeah, that doesn't seem that useful, but yeah. Save some energy for next time, right? We assume this Axie is dead at this point regardless. Yeah, perfect, just to give them the debuff. Yeah. And then we know we're attacking first. And so what would be really nice would be to be able to, let's say, like we did that, and then we use Risky Feather. Would be nice to be able to attack this back Axie a little bit as we move into the next round, just to get some damage done. I'm debuffed anyways, right? And I'm probably dead here. Wow. And then, yeah, no last stand, completely dead. So maybe saving the energy would have been worth it. But I did want to get a little bit of damage done. But it didn't do as much as I hoped. Okay, let's see. Obviously, going to go for as much... Ooh. We're going for as much shield as possible. The goal would be just... I don't think we're going to get it. The refresh here is going to be very helpful for them. But the goal will be just to survive. Which doesn't... Nope. And last stand ends it. Perfect. There you go. Back down to the low 1300s. Man, I wish I could just drop down completely, because then I can just... Yeah, so this, in my opinion, shows what PvP looks like. No matter how good your team is, I think the point that they wanted to instill, the game creators, was that, yeah, no matter how strong your team is, like, it should still take you a certain amount of time to get 5 wins. Just because if you're really, really good, you're going to move up, and it should still take you, in about 45 minutes, let's say, to get the 5 wins. Because you should be winning and losing and winning and losing and kind of, I'd say you should be averaging, I guess it depends how much they drop you for a loss. That's annoying. That sucks. That really sucks. That really sucks. Because that back Axie is 100% dead. Although they used 4 energy to do it. I'm not sure that was worth it. And I did get energy gain here. Although it would have been nice to get double energy gain. But hey. There are worse things. Now they attack first. But I don't think it'll make too much of a... We'll see. Right? Because yeah. Now we've killed this beast. Okay. That is highly frustrating, but that's all right. What? Okay, I'm doing nothing because I can use a little more energy regardless. Okay. Still going to do nothing, I think, because it doesn't matter. They have to attack. When they do attack, their beast will die. When they do that, I'm going to use 4 cards, hopefully, and attack them. They can use Dark Swoop and kill my back Axie. Yep. Right? So my back Axie is dead. And they will attack first next round as well. Right? So that is on them. But, for example, right, after they do attack me and break my shields, I will use Peace Treaty because I'll have extra damage. I will use that. I will use that. And I'll use Disguise. Quite an amazing shield. And quite a lot of damage in my opinion. So, my shield will barely get touched. I will also get... Oh, that crit hurt, though. And this is why I do like having the shields on me. Sorry, the heal behind me. But still got the win. Still got an awesome amount of energy gain, and it would have been great. So we got it, finally. Got the 7 SLP. Got the win. So normally... So we got the 5 matches. Normally what you would do, if you wanted to max out your SLP game, is you would continue in Arena, right? Gaining as many wins as you can get with these last 5 so let's say I won 2 more matches or 3 more matches, right? I'd be able to gain a little more SLP. Awesome. And then when I went to Adventure, I'd still be able to max out. So you see here it's like 0 out of 100 SLP. I'd still be able to max out my SLP gain for the day at 100. With 0 energy, I would still get SLP, which is awesome. But I wouldn't be able to level up my Axies. So here you see my Axie with like the green one is level 25. That's the max level for Axies. My middle Axie is level 9. I would like to level that up and make it stronger as I work. Because in these later levels, like level 23 especially, my other team, Coolberry, the white Axie that I use sometimes, I'll just show it here. Coolberry, this Axie here that I use sometimes, level 25, it's maxed. But its speed is at 49 to start. So because of its starting speed, even though it's at max level, it's not fast enough to outpace a lot of the enemies that I face. So with this Axie, its starting speed is 58 and still has that heal. And so I think it'll be important to have a faster Axie to heal my front. And then to finish things off, I will need to replace this Axie eventually. This Axie is wonderful. Its health starts at 52, which is all right. But, I mean, that is not great since max stats are much, much higher than that. So, for example, this plant that I have here, its health is at 54, so already better. Although I don't think that Axie's there anymore. So let's sync the Axies. I gave some to the other account, right? So, oh no, so this Axie is still here. Wait, what Axies did I give the account then? I'm struggle busting. I thought that... oh my gosh, it's making me do that thing again. Because I know what... Oh wait, maybe all the Axies are still here. What is going on? Proxy assert. Yeah. Okay. The Axies are here. Which Axies are these, man? I thought I knew what was going on. But... what Axies did I give? Oh. Sorry. 7 hours ago, the transaction went through. I'm going to have to like... Oh, you know what's actually super easy to do? Okay, so here's the address. I can copy the address. Sorry, I'm on my tablet trying to figure out how I do this. So we're gonna go and we're gonna search and put the address into the search bar and see what comes up. So I know. Okay, so this Axie is no longer here. It's showing up for some reason. I was correct. When I go to Axie and I hit sync, okay, now it's working. I don't know why it took so long. So I only have 5 Axie on this account now. This Axie will be moved. It is simply an extra Axie that I have, that I bred, and it just isn't the best. Let's look at the details. So health is not that great. Speed is okay. Skill and morale pretty low. I like the smart shot for the mobility. Twin needle is always great to have. Aqua vitality is great. Why so serious? Is like, okay, not the worst thing. It's okay for PvP, and so that's why I think it's pretty good to have for a PvP team. I just don't know where else I would put it or who I would put it with. So eventually, when I get rid of Coolberry and I have max level this Axie, it's a bit faster, I might give away. So for example, I do have a different team on my phone that has a pretty good aquatic team, has a really good back aquatic Axie, but the middle ones, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Long story short, these are the Axies I have. I need to breed some of them. So this is the one that I wanted to kind of fix up a little bit with some more health and changing out Shipwreck. And that's kind of what the next big breeding is going to be. So I am Aimery's Axie farmer. Anyway, so to level up those Axies, I'm going to start playing some levels. So we're going to go from level, maybe from level, because remember, you only get energy. I'm only going to get energy for the first 5 levels that I play. So you know what? Since that level, the back level 19 Axie is one that I really, really would like to level up. I'm going to go to the original Aimery's Trio team, select it, go to Adventure, and I'm just going to play the hardest level once that I've beaten and work backwards from there. Because then I know at least I'll get the max energy I can get from those levels, and it's kind of the highest chance I have of survival, arguably, right? So this team I like because, you know, my first 2 are max level, you know, so it does work pretty well for these levels. But my back Axie is still a bit weak, although you can see it is catching up quite quickly and doing quite well. It's really the speed that's really what's helping. Is before, like if you look at the top, it says round 2 and 1, 2, 3, and 4 for who's attacking. Let's see how much shield they can pull up. They can pull up quite a big shield, so I'm just going to use that and the free disguise for a shield. But previously, right, when I would do this, I would attack after the Lunatian, and so I would die a lot. Now, though, it's quite nice because I am able to, most of the time, attack first. So right now, my entire team gets to attack first, which is awesome. No crit, please. Thank you very much. If I crit there, I would have had a roam on my back Axie, which would have meant my back Axie would have definitely been dead. Well, not definitely. Look, see, it would have been fine. But still, it's not something you want to get in the habit of doing. The main thing I don't like about Coolberry is the Heartbreak. I think it's a waste of an attack. It's very difficult to ensure that someone doesn't crit against you. So, you know, providing a crit debuff is something you have to kind of try and like, it's by chance. Whereas the debuffs that are more based on like lowering speed or lowering attack damage are more something I can actually calculate and try and know what's going to happen based on those things. So here, what's awesome is that again, I can add the heal and get a free Twin Needle. So I'm not sure I'm ever getting rid of Coolberry because I bred it myself. Like I bred Coolberry myself with a couple Axies, and so I love the shades on it. I love its look. And so I might not use it as much in PvE or whatever, PvP, but I still think I want to keep it around regardless of, so this last round is actually quite simple. All you have to do is kill this front Golden Iris. It has Golden Swing, which does like 1,000, it kills almost any Axie you have. At times, it can keep, my front Axie can survive it, you know, whatever. But for the most part, you just want to make sure you kill the front Axie in the first round. So it's 800 shield, which is just going to be annoying because, and Golden Swing. Wonderful. 1,400 damage, right? Um, I could have used a heal here, right? I could have used a heal now. But it doesn't really matter because these back golden arrows are just support for the most part. And so I would actually rather have these golden irises attack my back Axie, right? Because it's not much damage, right? Perfectly fine. And what's awesome here is that yes, this Axie is still fast enough to do Sweet Party, but actually I don't have. Again, and here's the annoying part is that if this back Axie was a bit faster, so 146, 158, and so this golden iris is at 152. So the next time this back Axie levels, I'm hoping it'll be faster than this golden iris. Because at times like this, I could have just killed the golden iris first and then moved on. But realistically now, oh look, oh, okay, yeah, it's almost impossible to really survive that. In my opinion, the only way to beat that is with speed. And so the goal is to continue leveling up my Axies. So here, once the front golden iris is dead though, the rest of this is super simple. Like, they don't do enough damage to actually kill you. They steal energy from you if you are slower than them, but I am not slower than them anymore. These are both birds. And so actually, I really like the white bird. I'm not going to remove this Axie. I love this Axie. It's part of Aimery's team for sure. But yeah, there it is. There's my first PvE win. We'll get our energy in and hopefully level up because, close. So 17 SLP, not bad. And I like how it tells you now, okay, 17 out of 100. Thank you. I will not go level 23. It's still too difficult for me, but I will go level 21 and work our way back through some levels. I should be drinking my smoothie then, right? So this level is pretty simple. I don't know, quite self-explanatory, but you get one Lunatian each round. Each Lunatian, they come in the order you saw them in PvE, so if you've played through PvE rounds, in my opinion, I like PvE the best. So anyone getting started in this game, I would suggest 100% just use your 20 energy on PvE. PvP probably isn't worth it for most people. It's probably worth it only after you spent your 20 energy on PvE to then go to PvP and just play and get the quests done. Get whatever wins you can. You're probably only get one energy per win, let's say, in your lower rounds, your lower team. So don't worry about it. Just do PvE, level up your Axies so that you can at least get, right? Level up your Axies so that you can at least get your 100 SLP per day. In my opinion, every single person playing this game, there is no excuse for not being able to, get some 3 Axies for like $60 and start playing PvE, and within a month, you'll be getting your 100 SLP a day, 150, sorry, because you're going to get your 50 from the quest. And in my opinion, that's good enough. If you can get, 150 SLP a day, which is around, what's that at? Like $4, $6. So about $6 a day. I think currently. Any sticky liquid, sticky goo. Yes, still sticky goo. I don't want to end up with a debuff, so let's do that So that means that anybody can make $6 a day playing this game. For about an hour or so. Minimum wage in many parts of the world, in Antigua specifically, because that's where I guess I care the most. Minimum wage in Antigua is $2 an hour US. And so that means that someone can earn more than minimum wage as long as they play less than 3 hours a day and use 20 energy. In my opinion, 20 energy plus 5 wins will always take less than 3 hours a day for the majority of people. And so it seems to me as though this could be a viable income source for many people around the world, if they can get started without paying $60 and start earning, not just get started playing the game. I mean, actually get started earning for that amount of money. So that's not that difficult. You just use the same strategies you've been using in the past to beat each Axie. And you want to beat it in the least amount of turns as possible because they all have sticky goo, and reduce your speed. But here, the biggest things to worry about are Rusty Slash and Rusty Shield. Deadly Goo is annoying, but it pretty much just kills. It's a AoE attack, so area of effect. It damages all enemies, and so this back Axie is a low level, and so it damaged my back Axie by far the most. That's the annoying part. But you definitely going to use Peace Treaty and definitely going to use Shipwreck because Rusty Shield stops range damage, but doesn't stop melee damage, so I'm safe there. Also, if Rusty Slash or a strong attack comes up, I've given them a debuff, or the boss a debuff, the Slime Knight, so that its damage dealt should be a little bit lower, and it didn't even do any damage, so we're good. Now, again, gonna use the heal, gonna use Peace Treaty to give another debuff on attack damage, and we're gonna use Twin Needle, even though Rusty Shield might come up. We're going to hope it doesn't and move forward. We're going to use Carrot Hammer, even though it's going to give us a little bit of a shield, and it's still going to give us the energy gain when the shield breaks, as well as we're going to use Insectivore. We're not going to use Egg Bomb. We're never going to use Egg Bomb in this round unless it is very strategic, or, of course, unless we have Blackmail. We really wanted to get all the damage done, but it's the only 3 cards used. I doubt I'll kill the Slime Knight here, but I do a lot of crits now, so it's not as difficult as it once was. But I'm going to miss my next attack, right? But next round, hopefully we'll have the Slime Knight dead. But with the amount of heals they get in there, it's not as easy, right? So that attack is quite quite hurtful, but we are still alive. So here is where we are going to hope Rusty Shield does not proc. If it does, our back Axie is dead. So we're good. So the Slime Knight's dead here regardless of what happens. Does not matter. If, though, Rusty Shield came up, I would have done 0 damage, right? That, all those cards would have done nothing. Now, okay, they attack the back Axie. I'm not even that, I don't even notice. I don't even care. Right? Now, one of those 2 todays is dead, regardless. Doesn't really matter which one. Okay, so the top one's dead. Awesome. Right? Now they attack, they do whatever, they heal, or they, they shot, and they confuse. Okay? Perfect. And now, round done. And as I level up, the round hopefully will get easier and easier. And it has been getting a lot easier and easier as I've been continuing. But most of the improvements have been based on speed. So I think that it's important for people to realize that's how much of a role speed plays in PvE. I always thought that speed was super important for PvP, which is why I bought this back Axie. And I bought it because I wanted to make sure that when I was playing PvP, because I had to do it for the quest regardless, right? And there was no energy back then, or it wasn't very big of a deal back then. And so I was kind of just you know what? I want to ensure that if I'm forced to play 5 rounds of PvP a day to get my quest, I like to make sure I have a high chance of winning, or at least a mediocre chance of winning, right? And getting a larger one SLP, because I didn't want to drop down the rankings, because I knew that if I dropped down the rankings, I would if I dropped down the rankings, I didn't know, a waste of energy there. It's going to die just with the Twin Needle. But as I move up the rankings, or down the rankings, I'll get less SLP per match. So even after I get my 5 wins, if it's less SLP per match, then I'm only getting 5 SLP for the 5 wins, which seems like a large waste of time. So I want it to be more efficient. And so I felt like purchasing a nice Axie for $50 US, it was 0.1 ETH or something like that. But purchasing an Axie and adding those genes to my team would be more efficient than trying to breed Axies over and over again and stuff like that. So yeah, level 20 they do have Goo Destruct, but Sweet Party, Twin Needle, and that should be more than enough. But so now that's kind of how I got my other middle Axie. Is I bred Sweet Party with the Axie I purchased, and I got the other Axie. So what I might do is again breed. Well, I don't think you can breed with your children. So that's going to cause an issue, right? So here the round is pretty simple. The back 2 Little Rocks have Goo Destruct, so you're going to die. On your front Axie, you're realistically going to die. But use quite a big shield, I suppose. And all you you have to do is kill this front Axie, and you'll be fine. So I'm not sure it matters much. But it took me a very long time to beat this round with all 3 Axies alive. But it isn't that bad. Because your Axie goes into last stand, like this Axie does. I could have showed you previously, but now the Axie is definitely dead. There's no last stand for this Axie. But it's quicker that way. So 413 SLP, and we continue. So here's where it would be interesting, right? Because I would only get energy, right? I'll only get experience for 2 more levels. It would actually make more sense to like play level 21 probably 2 more times, but I wouldn't get any energy or any SLP, sorry. And so I know it wouldn't really matter because I can do SLP later. So you know what? I'm gonna do that because this is like the boss level is the level in which I have the opportunity to earn the most SLP, right? And so, no, sorry, the most experience. It's like 640 or something like that. And so because of that, I enjoy playing it over and over again. The sad part is you used to get more, what's it called? You used to be able to get SLP multiple times after completing a round. So for example, with this boss round, say you got 15 or 20 SLP, it used to be that you would get, let's say you got 50, that's the first time, you might get like 12, or 7 the second time, and the third time you make like 2, and you get 0. And the reason that was great was because certain higher levels, you got more experience. So obviously, you'd want to get as much experience as possible and play the higher rounds more than once. The issue with that ended up being people were basically gaming the system to gain experience really quickly to go beat boss rounds on new accounts. So I understand why they needed to make energy experience gain a little bit slower and a little bit more, I guess, fair. I would use the term there. Oh snap! See, this is where it's not good, right? Because I can't even. All I can do. Gosh, this is terrible. Well, let's hope. Yep, lots of heals and lots of shields. Lots of heals and okay, not a good start. Not a good start. Not a good start at all. Lots of heals and lots of. Okay, that is not. Again, you just saw me play this round. That is not normally how things start off, but. Again, what can you do about it? At least I didn't use my attacks, right? Because again, like we said, if I use my offensive abilities, Anyways, we are going to attack this time, simply because if Rusty's shield doesn't proc, we are just gonna hope that we do enough damage to not have us be completely. Okay, so it didn't proc. And we're probably going to see a lot of damage done, sadly. But let's see what happens. This back actually is not strong enough to do much yet. Sadly, another heal coming out. That, again, not normally what you see coming from this round. And I am going to die regardless at this point. But I might as well go for at least... Yeah. I guess it shows you how difficult this round can be, and then now I've wasted the energy, and then it shows you why the game has kind of gotten a little bit annoying, though. Just because, like, now every single time I spend energy, it's like I have to worry about, like, this kind of stuff. And it's like, I get it, right? Like, it's a game. You gotta... I know. It's just that, like, the game has to be fun, too, and incentivizing and enticing and keep you playing and... not just economically viable. And I think that potentially there's been too much of a focus on keeping the game economically viable over the past year or so, which is obviously super important. Right? At the same time, I don't think economic viability is the most important aspect of this game at all. I think a lot of people play because of that economic viability. Okay, I think now I can officially just say I lost. So yeah, I'm not playing this level again. That's actually highly frustrating to waste energy like that when all I'm trying to do is level up so I can have more fun playing the game. And that's the thing. It's like, now that they've made it so that you have to continue to spend energy just to level up, it's also as if I'm like forced to use the same Axies more often when I play, which, again, all these things aren't that big of a deal, but in my opinion, they add up to make the game a little bit, like, there's a lot of updates that have made the game more enjoyable and more fun. And I think that at the same time, there's lots of updates that have made the game less enjoyable and less fun. And I think it's just working through those like, different things and figuring out how to update the game and keep the updates, I guess, positive. I don't really know. Like, for example, telling users how much SLP they've gained out of 100 per day, awesome. Having some sort of energy in general so that the game seems more fair to people, again, seems pretty awesome. But I think, like, forcing people to play PvP to stay economically viable in the game, not so awesome. Some people would probably hate PvP, so you're forcing people to play, like, to do that, which I think is not really ever a good idea. And at the same time as that, I think that, like, I definitely think it's awesome. Like, they did the minimum viable, like, way of adding the extra security at the moment, because they still do have it where you can still gain your SLP. Right, you can still gain SLP even after your energy is gone from PvE. But again, like, they are choosing they're choosing the way you play the game now to stay economically viable, right? So in the past, you get on the game, you do whatever you want. You play some PvE, you play some PvP. You don't really care what you're doing. You just play the game. And your only goal. So when I started, my only goal was to play finish daily quest. Simple goal, not very difficult. As the updates started coming in, I was getting very excited about them, and I am still very excited about them because that means that things are changing slowly and hopefully improving. And a lot of that has improved. So now when I play, it's not just about doing the daily quest. It's about doing the daily quest and being able to max out my SLP gain within that time period, right? So now I'm like, okay, well, now that I can see very easily how much SLP I've gained out of 100, which seems like a very easy UI thing to put in, so I'm glad it's finally in there, my gosh. But, so it's good, though, because at least now I see how much I've gained in that round, and then I can go be like, okay, whatever. But see, now I'm not gaining any experience anymore for playing these rounds. And so it's like, the game is still fun. Like, nothing has changed in that aspect. It just makes me feel like it goes both ways, right? Because it's like this, it makes me feel like, okay, you know what? This is awesome. Because I'm not going to level anymore anyways, let me test out some new teams, right? I feel like this would be a great time to kind of test out like my level 1 Axies, level 5 Axies, and kind of see how to better use different strategies. Like, do I want to level up an Axie? I gotta test it out to see first. But when I do that, I'm gonna play around and then like lose the SLP gain from it, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, I gotta test it out, I guess. But every level gives you SLP pretty much only once now, it seems. Which is, I guess, simpler. For me, it was always very confusing and very almost anxiety-inducing to try and understand how much energy I can get from a round. Like, I just wanted to know, like, I don't know, like, you're telling me that I can, play this round, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's exciting, and like, I'm trying to get some SLP, cool, I get 10, I'm like, okay, cool, let's play it again. And I think just making a lot of these things a lot clearer will be great for the game. Like, a lot of the things in the game aren't very clear, in my opinion. Like, for example, if I replay level 18, will I get SLP? Yes or no? I think, like, trying to have this really complicated, like, okay, it's going to be like this. Like, okay, it might be somewhat fair, but I don't think users care at all. I just think you need to tell users what is the answer. So if I'm asking, if I went into the Discord chat and I was way more confused after asking the question than I was beforehand. So I thought that, it was just like you play one time, you get a certain amount of SLP, and then you play a second time, you get a little bit less probably. And then usually I was playing 3 or 4 times, and I would randomly stop getting SLP like the third time or the fourth time. It looks like I got no energy okay, so I got no experience that time, it looked like, right? So like, oh yeah, no experience, sorry, I knew that. But I get SLP, yes. So yeah, I don't know, it just feels like, it was very confusing. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can replay that round and get SLP. I would assume that you can't replay rounds for SLP anymore. And maybe you could previously, and I would assume that is, I would assume that the reason for that is because, again, there was too much SLP going out, and it didn't really incentivize playing through all the rounds, or it also didn't really incentivize, So I think now what has been incentivized is, yes, it's a streamlined process, but it's not the worst thing in the world, right? For most people who have been playing the game for a while, right? So like for like me, you'd use all your energy in PvP, and then after you've used all your energy in PvP, you'd come back and then go to PvE, and pretty much you can just go to round 1 and just play up, or go to the highest round you can beat and play down. It doesn't really matter because you're not wasting any energy anymore on PvE. The only downside, in my opinion, is that because they've capped the PvE reward, so maybe hopefully what we'll see now is a change there where it'll no longer be capped in terms of PvE rewards, or they'll raise the cap. I think would be wonderful as well. Because the issue, in my opinion, is that if you're a PvE player who doesn't really care much about PvP, and you're only doing PvP for the daily quest, well then you're someone who wants to max out their energy on PvE. You want to get experience, you want to level up, you want to beat the middle boss, the last boss. And so in that predicament, you know for a fact your max SLP gain is always going to be 150 a day. And nothing is wrong with that. I think 150 a day is wonderful. Okay, 150 SLP a day is really awesome. But because that number is so max, like it's just simple max, I think it would be reasonable and you have energy now, so we know there's a max, we know there's energy. Okay, this is annoying, like I just don't have any offensive abilities, and this is why I changed out the Twin Needle for the other Axie, is just because at times it's just highly annoying to be sitting here not having enough offensive abilities just to attack somebody. But again, you wait one round and you just keep going, not the biggest deal. But yeah, so I guess the stream today is almost done. I'm just going to continue dropping down the levels and not getting experience. And what's good, though, is that I can show off all the levels. So doing the streams this way, what it allows me to do, if anything, is it allows me to show off all the levels that I play without really caring about how much energy I'm using or spending, and just go till I max out my SLP. My SLP for PvE. But still, in my opinion, it would be great just to, like, for example, if I'm playing on a certain day, maybe I don't even have time to play PvP. But the game makes me feel like I really should play PvP. Because otherwise, I'm wasting, I guess I'll just do that. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting like my time, and to me, it's more about the time than the SLP. I don't really. The game makes me feel as though I should be doing things in a certain order, right? Because that's the most efficient order, and I guess I wish that other orders could also be efficient, right? So If the max reasonable SLP gain for me is around 250 a day, then in my opinion, that max should be similar if I started with PvE first or whether I started with PvP first. Not sure exactly how that would work. Like, for example, say I started with PvE first, and let's say they allowed me to get 200 SLP now instead of only 100 from PvE. Then, after I completed the 5 wins of the quest, I would be at 250. And I think the cool part of that is that you'd be almost guaranteeing, that people were earning that amount. And I know that like providing that kind of guarantee probably isn't the best. And so with PvP, the beauty is it's not really a guarantee. It's like up and down, but it kind of is a guarantee because your ranking is kind of going to go up and down. So one day it might take you longer to get the SLP. So like one day you might get 250, and one day you get 180, and the next time you get 270, and the next time you get 100. But like in general, it should average out to be relatively consistent in your SLP gain around 250. So maybe if you're only doing PvE, you get like, maybe you should bring it up slowly. So maybe instead of 100, go to like 125, and then go to like 130, 140, and then like 150, right? Because, I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty hard to even continue to get SLP in PvE. Like, also, I would assume that people have multiple accounts, and so what they don't want is people like making 12 accounts, taking a month on all 12 accounts, making them all level 25, and then playing PvE on all of them. Right? At least if you do that with PvP, you have to kind of play and you have to kind of like engage with people, where it's much easier to cheat the system if you're playing against the computer. And I do understand that. So obviously, like there's like tech advancements that need to happen as well for all this stuff, and so. So today, Mika and I will not be going skateboarding probably. The park we've been going to, I really enjoy it. So the plan is to go back to that park, let her run around at the dog park for a bit, maybe bring some toys and whatnot, and then Then go for a little jog, a little walk. I've been meaning to run a lot more and get myself in shape in that way. Why are we doing all this? There's no reason for all that. But running's hard, and I slack off quite a bit when I do. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get some running in. Oh, meant to text my brother and let him know that the account is all ready and set up for him. I'm gonna tell him like how he should set up his team and everything too, but should be all good. Anyways, oops, I meant to use that. I guess I had a little bit of lag. They are now there. When you set up your team, I'd put Grump, Berry, Short, Cake in the back. Green, eggs, and yam. In the middle, and Superfly in the front for poison. Also, I'd suggest using your 20 energy on PvE adventure mode always, and then, so the idea is, continue using it on adventure mode, level up your Axies, and then as you get more SLP per round, you'll eventually max out at 100 out of 100 SLP per day in those 20 levels. Or yeah, like so eventually you'll keep using your energy, you'll keep leveling up, but you'll get your 100 SLP in those 20. What a terrible, terrible hand. I mean, not that it really matters, but like, anyways. Then after you've run out energy, play some PvP and get 5 wins for the daily quest, which gives an extra, okay, much better, which gives an extra 50 SLP per day. Okay? Now, the point is that once my brother gets to 1,000 SLP, and then just keep going and playing as much or little as you want, and when you get to, you know, like 500 to 1,000 SLP, I'll cash out for you. So again, this is my brother, and so whatever cashing out I do, I mean, it's honestly just gonna mostly be like, you know, I didn't need to use the extra damage, but it was free disguise attack anyway. But yeah, I mean, if I cash out, it's give my brother like $20, $30. It's just a way for him to. I'm gonna send him funds in ETH so that he can start getting some ETH holdings and whatnot. But yeah, that's how it's gonna work. Once your Axies are around level 20 to 25, you'll easily earn exactly 150 SLP a day if you, right? Oh gosh, again. But once your Axies are on level 20 to 25, you'll easily earn exactly a day if you do that route, and if you enjoy the game, right? If you enjoy the game, then you could always do more, right? We could get you better Axies, and you could become a PvPer, haha. But that's quite time consuming and expensive. In my opinion, the game is a great way to earn around $5 a day, right? $5-6 a day. In my opinion, the game is a great way to earn around $5 a day playing for about an hour. Right? In crypto. Save that up for a year or two with. That's the thing, right? You save that up, you have it compounding interest, and you're golden. So that's the idea, is that the Marble J Foundation is also going to have a liquidity pool for SLP that we send our SLP to. So for example, just like how Aimery has a SLP liquidity pool for himself, the Marble J Foundation will have one as well. And you know, it might all be on Aimery's pool together, or however that works, but the idea is going to be there's going to be one pool of SLP together, so we can all share in the wonderful gains. And then what we'll do is, so let's say, you know, Ashton wants to withdraw. My brother's name is Ashton. Let's say he wants to withdraw 1,000 SLP. He'll be like, oh, hey, you know, I have 1,000 SLP here. You know, I'd love to withdraw. I'll be like, yeah, sounds good. And what I'll do probably is just withdraw the amount of like the value So if I say that I'll withdraw 500 SLP um, from liquidity pool, which would provide me with 500 SLP, and then the other half of it in ETH. I will dump the SLP into the liquidity pool at that point, and then I'll send my brother the ETH to whatever address he has. What I'm probably doing this Christmas is buying a bunch of key cards and setting up a lot of my family with status wallets, so they can start having Ethereum and like. But currently, you can't actually play Axie Infinity from the status wallet. It's very frustrating. You pretty much need MetaMask to set up your account. And so I'd like to have a way. I mean, obviously, my brother could still, have his status wallet and accept money there. But I also want to get all my siblings' ENS names when I set them up. So, for my mother's Christmas gift, I got her an ENS name and a key card and all that. So what I'm going to do is physically be there to set her up with everything that she needs. But the idea is that she'll have an ENS name that's easy, human readable, easy name to understand. And then she'll be able to open her phone, she'll be able to chat with me, chat with people, her name will be there. When she sends ETH or tokens, she'll only be sending tokens to me and probably no one else, if she ever even sends tokens to anybody. So she'll know, how to send stuff to my name, and you can send tokens in chat. So when I send her tokens, and so the main point being, I can send tokens in chat, so it really simplifies things for me. I want other people on board. I want to make life easier for them as well. But realistically, the main reason for all this is that it makes life easier for me. It means that if I'm paying Ashton, my brother, I can be like, Ashton can ask for the payment in the chat, and I can send him the ETH or SLP in the chat. So I think that's also very cool. There's lots of things, like, for example, right, the Marma J Foundation holds those Axies locally, but obviously the earnings that people have, I want to be sending them into an external account, and so yeah, they're going to need some sort of ENS name. So I think realistically, most of my family doesn't really understand even how to secure private keys and such, and so if I want them to be holding key cards and all that, the only real secure way to do that would be for me to yes, buy them the key cards, but also I would have to keep a backup of the private key or completely hold the private key myself. So with my mother, I'm not even giving her the private key. I'm gonna keep the private key on my own person. I have my own OPSEC, and if my OPSEC is good enough for me and the Marma J Foundation, then it's probably good enough for my mom. Even for my brother Ashton, most people in my family aren't really going to be, what's it called? Keeping thousands and thousands of dollars in crypto. Realistically, they're just going to be using the wallet to secure a little bit of, $100, $200, and then eventually they're probably going to cash out to cash. Realistically, knowing them, right? And so I want them to have a key card. I want them to have the extra, security. So if they do want to, keep their funds in crypto and buy more, then they should do that. But realistically, my goal is to give them this ETH. And I suppose the goal at the end of that would be just to give them the ETH and say, hey, here's the ETH. Here's how you withdraw on something like ShakePay. It's you shake your phone, you get free Bitcoin. So send your ETH from your status wallet to your ShakePay account. Withdraw from ShakePay for free. Sell your ETH on ShakePay to Canadian dollars, and then send your Canadian dollars for e-transfer for free to your bank account. And that's a pathway that almost every Canadian can go through without too much difficulty. And so what I enjoy about that is that means that all my siblings, most people that I can set up an account on Axie for almost anybody, and they can play, and within about 3 weeks to a month, in a month for sure, in 30 days, you'd be expecting, and I have it on my channel so you can see it, and I've leveled up multiple different Axies and play different things, but if you play every day, and you have a daily quest every day for a month, right, weekends, weekdays, and you do PvE, you should be looking at getting 150 SLP a day at the end of the month, right? And in my opinion, you take that, you put it away, maybe you sell half, and you do some liquidity providing somewhere. It doesn't have to be SLP ETH, right? You could be a yield farmer. You could just, sell everything to ETH and then move your ETH to the high, to Urine Finance and start creating some sort of a savings account for yourself. Or there's just so many ways to to use the earnings that you get in this game, in my opinion, it's starting people off with a certain easy account to use. And how do you get started? So to get started, I send you a QR code, you download the app, you start playing. When you get to 1,000 SLP, I will send you the ETH amount in that to your Ethereum address, and then you can do whatever you want with that. Excuse me. So, if my brother loved the game, I would tell him, that's awesome. Please feel free to use the ETH you get to purchase your own Axies, put them on your own Ethereum address, and then the problem is, again, that with status doesn't work that well, but hopefully that'll be fixed by then, and in the next month or 2 months. And the goal would be at that point that I would still keep possession of those Axies in that scholarship account. The only difference would be that they'd be a higher level. So that's kind of why I also play on my phone, is because even though I don't play very often, I try and just play PvE when I do play, and I just play like maybe once a day, 2 times a day, and I try and play with some of the higher levels just to level up my Axies slowly, because eventually, even though it's not the best team, right? But the positive is it can still make someone some money. So maybe if I was having a child play who was like, very young and didn't really understand the game too much, all the Axies on that team all have self-heal. And so the idea was kind of breed to have all 3 Axies having Aqua Vitality and Aquaponics. They're 2 self-healing abilities where if you have both cards, you heal for twice the amount. And the idea was simply just to get a team with those traits so that PvE would be super simple. So that even someone with a learning disability, or even someone who found this game quite complicated, could still go into PvE and could still play the game. So what I might do is save that team for Bobby or something like that, or someone with a learning disability. I do have someone that would want to play right now. And so what I'm probably going to do is set up the account for potentially for them. The only issue is that account is technically tied to the Marma J Foundation, and so whoever I gave the account to, I'd have to trust them. I mean, not really. They can't do anything with the account without having like the private, without being logged in, having the private key, being able to sign and all that. At the same time, I don't put in my account like that. Like, I don't really know. So I've got to figure it out, see how I feel about it, see what it looks like when someone else uses it. Maybe I'll start that off with like a sibling or a friend who wants to start playing for a few weeks or a few months to learn about the game. And that might be what I use that account for, is like, oh, you want to try playing Axie Infinity? Here you go. Here's my QR code for the Marma J Foundation. Try playing it for a month or 2 or a week or whatever. See if you like it, and if you like it, great. And if you hate it, then, not so great, but it's not really a big deal. I can just keep giving the account to different people. And so that's the goal for the second scholarship team. And then in my opinion, once we've gotten, like 2, 3, 4, so we have 2 scholarship teams that are available to us. We have one on the Marma J account, and then we have another one that I'm giving to my brother, so that he can start playing and learning about the game. But the beauty of it is you only gain in scholarship teams, because you're never giving away the Axies. So that blue Axie I showed earlier that I'm going to add to a team eventually, yes, I need 2 more Axies in order to have a team for that, but there's no rush. Eventually, I will breed this back Axie again with the Axie I bred it with before, or, I kind of want Peace Treaty. So I want Peace Treaty in there. So if it would allow me, oh, there you go, 100 of 100 SLP. So now I'm at 1,624. I should deposit soon, but I've been slacking and I've been lazy. Before I end the stream, though, I am going to quickly take a look at Uniswap, and we're going to see how the token's been doing. So it's been almost 6,000 seconds since I refreshed, about an hour. Right? I think 6,000 seconds. I can't even remember. Wow, my brain right now. I'm not going to do the math. Okay, so volume's up about 5%. Liquidity up around 8%, but the price seems like it's gone up around 8% for the day, but clearly down over the past little bit. It was at 0.39, so 0.039 before. Now it's 0.0376. Oh, in dollars. Sorry, it's showing the dollar price. Anyways, you can continue seeing all the trades, the additions of liquidity, right? So people have been adding liquidity, still in pretty strong number over the past few days, right? We've had 30,000 SP, 50,000 SP, 30,000 SP, and then when we're looking in terms of removes, I like looking at as well. To me, removes are more important because I like seeing liquidity. If I'm adding liquidity over and over and over again, I want my liquidity percentage to be the highest amount, right? Obviously. And so there haven't been that many large removes, but a couple relatively large ones in the 30 and 40,000s. But yeah, that's a quick update. Tomorrow I'll be live streaming this again, going through Axie Infinity. If anyone has any questions, concerns, how do I get started? What do I do? I think they're going to have a way to get started soon and test the game out without actually purchasing 3 Axies. Currently, the only way to really get started is to purchase 3 Axies, but I would suggest anyone that wants to try playing the game just for economic value and learning about the game, try and find a scholarship team. There are many of them out there. My scholarships are not the best. I have pretty terrible Axies, but in my opinion, if you can get a little bit of economic viability, $3, $4, $5 US a day playing for about an hour, that's pretty good. I played for an hour and 41 minutes. That's going the PvP route. So again, at the start, yes, it'll be about 2 hours a day to get this done. Maybe 3 hours a day at the very beginning, just because PvP might take you a really long time. But you'll eventually get the wins just because it'll eventually happen regardless, because you will drop in rankings. So don't worry about that too much. Keep playing, keep going. Even for PvE, don't worry too much. Play rounds that you know you're going to win. So at the beginning, for example, you only get SLP like once for playing the round. So if you repeat round 1 or 2 over and over again, you're not going to get the SLP gain. The beauty is, with the quests involved, each round is worth around 5 SLP. So even if the round is giving you 0 SLP, if you're leveling up and improving your Axies, you're still getting at least 5 SLP per round if you beat the daily quest. If you only use 10 and whatever, okay? So the point is, though, you're still going to use all your energy and get almost no SLP, but you will regardless get 50 SLP a day when you complete the quest. So your very first day of playing, if you complete the quest, you'll probably only get like 60 or 70 SLP. Your second day of playing, you'll probably get like 70, 75 SLP. It'll go up very slowly. But remember, your max is only 150. So if your max is 150 and you're getting 52 to 60 of the day the first day, it's not that bad. Your earnings start at about 1/3 of your max, and within a month, you're at your max earnings. At that point, you can start thinking about doing PvP first and trying to get above 150, in my opinion, maxing out earnings at 175, 200, 250 SLP a day. In my opinion, not that worth it. It's time consuming. It can be stressful. So if you love the game and you love PvP, maybe start streaming it to make it more fun. That's what I do. I make PvP is quite stressful for me. So by streaming it, it keeps it enjoyable and fun. Even when I lose, I'm not paying too much attention. I'm kind of talking and teaching and enjoying the whole experience, not focusing so much on winning and being efficient with my time. I definitely don't like time inefficiencies. And so when I dislike PvP is because I feel as though I can't ensure with certain rationalities that I can win a certain round. No matter what happens, there's always something better than me, so that I'll always lose a certain amount of rounds. Where with PvE, what I enjoy is that for the most part, there's some RNG and some random. Like I lost the boss round the second time I played it, so there is some RNG and randomness and all that. But for the most part, I can try my best to plan strategies and use logic to provide a most efficient round possible. And I enjoy doing that because I can find ways to not waste time and still play the game. So in my opinion, for as simple as a game as it is, there's quite a lot of fun to be had playing it because it's built on Ethereum. I think because you can play the game and get 50 SLP a day. At the end of the month, that 50 SLP a day will give you 1,500 SLP a day. 1,500 SLP a day. If you sold it, you only get 750 SLP. You can put that into liquidity after only a month of playing at the very minimum viable earnings of playing level 1 10 times a day and losing and winning just 5. Okay, we're going bare minimum here. And with that LP, you're probably making around 10 to 15 cents a day. Right? 1,500 for, 5 to 10 cents a day in your earnings. But that means you're earning 1 to 2, maybe 3 SLP a day. Let's say you're making 1 or 2 SLP a day without even playing the game. In my opinion, that's kind of cool because that means you can play the game minimum viability for a month and earn 1 or 2 SLP a day from liquidity providing. That means that if you're earning the maximum viability in the second month and every month, not maximum, but the medium viability, in my opinion, was what I call 150 SLP a day, doing adventure at the 100 and doing the quest. After a month of doing that, you're looking at around 3,000, 4,000 SLP. You're looking at around $1 a day. I think it's around there, maybe a bit more, I think. But you're looking at $1 a day in gains, which is like what, 20 SLP, 30 SLP? Anyways, $1 a day in gains without playing the game. So currently, I earn over $1 a day in fees without even touching the game. So on weekends, I take breaks, I still earn. And I mean, that is a game for me. It's ways to find ways to take at least amount of time playing the game and maximize profits for my son, obviously. I know that I can't play this game 3-4 hours a day every single day. Some people can. Some people have the time to play 2-3 hours a day every day. And so going to PvP makes a lot of sense for them. It makes a lot of sense to focus on spending about an hour or so, maybe even longer, playing PvP a day, and then going to play, PvE after, because they've already leveled up their Axies first of all. So you've already leveled up your Axies. That obviously makes sense to do PvP for an hour or two, or so, and then do a quick PvE and just do like the high levels like once or twice, and level 1 5 9 times, and you're fine. That's obviously the most efficient strategy if your Axies are level 25 and you have a good PvP team. The difference is PvP traits are very expensive. And like if you go to the marketplace, you'll see that I did last time where I was looking at Axies a couple like last week or something like that. And the Axie I wanted was 0.5 ETH, and so that's a lot of days. It's a lot of days sitting in liquidity to get one Axie. And so, like for example, I purchased an Axie for Aimery for $50, 0.1 ETH. I also purchased my 3 starting Axies for $20 each, so that's $60. And I have bred and withdrawn and everything else. So now we're looking at $50, $110 I've spent. And so let's see. I've spent $110 on the game, bare minimum. And also, for sure, spent at least like what? I think it was like $30 or in gas fees. Let's just say I spent $150 playing the game so far. I make $1 a day, so that's great. In about 4 months, I'll make most of that back. That's awesome. But the SLP has also gone up in price, and I put ETH into it as well. So my ETH has gone up in price. So you can see that I've earned playing the game half of this value. So arguably, playing the game, I've earned around $200. Well, $208 minus the fees, right? Because this number includes the fees. So if you want to get exact on there, it would be like, or close to exact. I'm not going to try and get exact. But it would be like $190, okay, $197. So it's been 25 days playing the game, okay? I've earned $190 playing the game, plus like, $15 in fees or whatnot. So not terrible, not amazing, I'd say. I mean, I had to play every day for the most part, Monday to Friday to do so. But I've been doing it for about 25 days so far. So not even a month. So it hasn't even been a month. I've already earned $200 and something, and I've been very inefficient. If you've watched my streams, I've been breeding certain things I didn't need to breed. I've been wasting SLP here, there, everywhere. If I kept all my SLP, it would be much higher than it is here. But I was spending my SLP when it was around like 1 cent to 3 cents. Now it's been around 3 cents to 6 cents. And so I'm kind of being like, okay, maybe breeding getting a little bit expensive. But that's about all for the stream. I know that I kind of go off and go on a little, look, I'm covering all the important information here. Yeah, sorry. So there's the 431. And I know that I've been scrolling up and down, so you've probably been able to see the numbers in general and all that kind of stuff. But I'll try and do a better job of, moving down my face when I show this stuff. But anyways, the earnings are not bad. The fees gains are not bad. And what I like is there's multiple layers to the game. Not just, so someone with learning disabilities that I might try and support might just go on their phone, click the, scan a QR code. When you have the game, it says please scan a QR code to log in. So I'll email them a QR code with simple instructions. Scan this QR code to get started. They scan the QR code. They just start playing. They hit adventure. They start playing. They see a little SLP. They gain it. They're happy about it. They see 0 out of 100. They try and get to 100 out of 100. And then when they get to 1,000, they see in their inventory 1,000 SLP. When they see that, I will send them the dollar value of 1,000 SLP in Canada, right? Obviously, I want to keep that in crypto. I don't want to be cashing out for people. It's legality issues and stuff like that. In Antigua, crypto is legal and there's no issues there, so it's kind of a little simple to do that stuff there. And if you've my previous video I did just last night talking about the Robert J Foundation, what I want to do there. Pretty much, I can already afford to rent out all our apartment buildings on the land, and so arguably what I could do is get people living there who just play Axie. And they would make enough money. That could be their stipend, right? So your monthly stipend of living could be paid for by you playing Axie for an hour or two a day, making $5 a day, and I'll cash out for you and give you and provide food and housing and electricity, and that could be a simple way of doing it. Okay, you know what? You get free room and board, free food, free Wi-Fi, free everything you want. All you gotta do is play Axie Infinity and make like 1,000 SLP a week or a month or whatever it is. I think for most scholarships they want you to make 1,000 SLP a week, which is a little bit. It's not, again, if you make 150 minimum, 7 days a week, not bad. What I would probably expect people to do if you're gonna be living for free, eating for free, doing for free, Monday to Friday, like I've been doing, and daily quest. Do your daily quest Monday to Friday or 5 days a week, and you can live in Antigua in tropical paradise for free with the Robert J Foundation. Because you are going to be supporting the foundation by supplying us with SLP, which we are going to put in a liquidity pool, maybe take a 10% cut, and then send you the funds to live with and whatever. Because obviously things are expensive and things cost money, but $5 a day with 10 people or 20 people doing it adds up to quite a bit, and that's just to get them started in crypto. Honestly, I don't want any of the SLP of their money. I want them to be incentivized to learn about how to secure their private keys. I want them to be incentivized to learn how to use a status wallet, to use a key card, to be incentivized to learn how to use Uniswap and learn how to set up liquidity and all these things that take a lot of incentives to get people to take that first step. I want to help. The Marma J Foundation's goal is to provide support, love, and support. And so in my opinion, you could love on someone in many ways, but support is usually provided in ways that support someone else. And so financial support, community support, emotional support, spiritual support. The Marma J Foundation wants to supply all of it. And so in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is to provide someone with somewhere to live. Support their basic needs, and so they can trust you and have the time to understand, to listen to you. And then hopefully at that point, they have the time to listen, they have the mental capacity and the emotional capacity to listen to what I have to say. At that point, we have a conversation, and maybe you are interested in what I'm interested in. Maybe you also want to spread love and positivity. Maybe you wouldn't mind playing a game for an hour a day to learn more about the blockchain ecosystem. And maybe you'd love to also help plant trees and help pick up trash on the beach, and also helps love on stray dogs and a lot of the other things that I want to do with the Marma J Foundation. But I want to do it with the community, not just by myself. And so if I can afford to start creating this community with simple things like this, why not? This money here is what also is going to be used to fund the community. It is for my son, but I hope my son will be able to visit the community one day. And so maybe the way I'll do this is that I'll keep adding funds here to support, where he'll be able to stay and where he'll be able to visit. And maybe what I'll do is, because he's 4, he cannot travel on his own yet, but he can, and he has a little sister now, so it's gonna be hard to travel, and COVID and all that stuff. But time is just time, and time does continue moving forward whether I want it to or not. And so eventually time will pass, and hopefully I will still be around for that. But he will be older, and COVID will get less will pose less logistical issues. And at that point in time, it would be really wonderful if there was enough funds for him to kind of pop back down to Antigua and also be able to enjoy this community and be able to take part in this community that we're hopefully going to be building down there. Also, the start date for me being down there a little more long term, I guess, would be April of 2021. My personal goal would be to get down there. I want to get down there in December of this year for about a week, maybe even a weekend. And the main goal is to volunteer with the Friends of the Care Project. I talked about that in my last video, talking about the Mama J Foundation. And I would want to do that simply to get to know what the Friends of the Care Project is doing, understand the youth being supported and helped there, the different orphans and people with mental and learning disabilities and physical disabilities as well. Also, I want to, if it would be a week-long or a 2-week trip, I'd want to volunteer with the Dogs and Cats of Antigua as well. They've provided a lot of support for us over the time we were there. And Mika was supported by them as well and all that. So being able to give back would be great. But the idea for the trip as well is to start figuring out like what's April going to look like. Are we going to start building, or are we just going to start what we've got? Where am I going to be living in April? Am I living in the studio apartment or the 3-bedroom or the one of the apartments? Personally, I was supposed to live in the 3-bedroom previously. It didn't work out. So eventually the foundation is going to be there, hopefully the office, with me living in the studio, my personal office being in the 2-bedroom across from the studio, and the apartment building being rented out to with bunk beds to students who hopefully, preferably, who are already in university at 5 Islands or something like that, who are in some sort of degree learning. And the idea is to provide them with free room board and all of the aforementioned perks, I suppose, as well as the goal is to build on the back end of that another apartment building so that we could eventually expand the project and have more people involved. The problem with that, though, is that there's not much space on the parcel of land, and so it might make more sense to keep it as a courtyard or a place to have barbecues and events, and then buy land across the street. At the same time as that, if you watched the video previously, there's an empty plot of land where I could have barbecues and events. So I could just build as well, and I think that I'd want to try and build something more office-like. Because the 3-bedroom where I'm thinking of putting the office now is a great place. But yeah. Anyways, that's a little bit more about the Mama J Foundation and Aimery's Axie Farmer and all that. But kind of the reason why I do this, like I think, oh, how much money do you make? Oh, I make $5 a day. Oh my gosh, that's nothing. I'm like, yeah, it's not a full-time job. It's a way for me to make a little bit extra money in crypto that I don't have to withdraw. I don't have to use it for coffee. I don't have to waste it on something. I can literally just keep making $5 a day for arguably the rest of my life, and it will keep compounding. As it compounds, it's also earning fees, which are at about between 50 and about 200% a year, APY, depending on the market conditions, of course. And that's also variable because both SLP and ETH are variable assets. Point being, I consider SLP to be relatively a stable asset. It's like having a stable coin. There's a company who is trying its best to keep SLP probably quite stable, around 3 to 4 or 5 cents, because the higher the price of SLP, the more money people are gaining per day. I think that our SLP around 5 cents makes the game viable for almost every economic environment to play this game. You play $60 to get started. You make your money back in a month or less than that. And then after that, it's just free income that you can make $5, $6, $10 a day and put away for the rest, till you stop playing, I guess. And even if you stop playing, you're still gonna keep earning because you can just play until you're earning $10 a day, which is my goal. My goal is like $10 a day. My first big goal is like, okay, well, I'm at $400, I'm making $1 a day. At $4,000, that's 1 month. At $4,000, I'll make hopefully $10 a day. That'll take 10 months. And I could obviously add more between now and then from different sources, but that's just, right here. I already have another $40, $50 to add to this. I've just been slacking really hard. Aside from that, I'm going to end this stream because I really need to get outside and take Meek out. But I love you all. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. A wonderful start to your week, wonderful Monday. And yeah, if you have any questions about Axie Infinity, I put the Discord in the description of this video. So please join the Discord, ask questions there. I don't like Discord that much, so I'm not in the Discord that often. But there's so many wonderful people in that community who will answer all the questions that you have. So yeah, that's all for me, Chloethedev. And thank you for taking part in Aimery's Axie Farmer for another week. I'm excited for the week ahead, and hopefully we can get our back Axie to You've Got Mail up to the mid 20s or low 20s,